Hello, everybody. Welcome back to How Come. I'm so excited for you guys to hear this episode. It is with my friend, comedian, host, writer, actress, and content creator, Anna Roisman. You might remember Anna from HQ Words and HQ Trivia on the Emmy-nominated app HQ Trivia. But you also might know her very well from TikTok. She is an incredible impressionist. And if you have ever heard the phrase, Miranda, that was Anna. Today, we're talking to Anna about her early childhood knowledge of sex, what she did with that, as well as her sex life now. And then we're going to talk to a few of the people that she does impressions of, hearing their opinions on current sex news and all that stuff. It's a really fun episode, and I think you're going to love it. If you notice, we don't have ads on this podcast anymore. So if you want to support the podcast, go to patreon.com/howcome. Give as much or as little money as you want. But for $5, you can get every single episode unedited with video. Lots and lots of outtakes. There's a ton of stuff that was edited out of this episode because it's just that juicy. So patreon.com/howcome. And also, if you want to support the podcast in another way, rate, review, subscribe, share us on your socials, tell your friends about us, all that stuff. And yeah, thank you for supporting just by listening to this episode. I can't wait for you to hear it.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're here.
Same.
Big fan as well as a friend.
Likewise, babe.
We have known each other through comedy for like almost a decade now, probably. And it's funny because before we knew each other, we shared a bed.
When did we share a bed?
Do you remember this?
No.
So
Did you roofie me and take me home one night?
No, I did not. When I went to sleepaway camp,
Okay.
I slept in a particular bed that had, like, you know how girls would write their names next to like whatever bed they slept next to. And I slept next to this massive heart that said Anna Roisman for an entire summer. And I remember when...
Did you have good dreams?
Never in my life. But
Damn.
no, but I remember when I finally met you through comedy, I was like, this can't be like the same person. Like, there's no fucking way. And I was like, hey, like, did you happen to go to this sleepaway camp? You go, yes. I said, did you happen to be in this bunk? You said, yes. I said, did you sleep in the lower bunk in the back left-hand side of that bunk? And you were like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, I too slept in that bed. So yes, we have shared a bed.
I love that fun fact. That's so good. Was it
that
Mohegan?
cute?
Was that the...
It was Mohegan.
Thank you. When you said
Yeah.
lower bunk, like back corner,
Yep.
I was like, my brain is like, what bunk was that? No, I do remember this because you told me this probably when we first met, and you know my brain is gone since then. So I love that.
I mean, same. I don't remember everything, but I do remember. I just wake up every morning and be like, hey, Anna Roisman.
I love that.
But yeah, now you are one of, I would say, the best impressionists of our time.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's really a joy when people you like are actually talented.
Thanks, Rem.
Of course. And so today I was thinking, besides talking about you and your life, we could maybe talk to some of these people.
Some of them, yeah.
We'll see if they're ready to come out to play. So in recent sex news, do you know who Ari Kitsia is? She's what's called a bop, which is like, she does OnlyFans, she makes spicy content, but she also makes like Instagram and TikTok safe content.
Okay.
Like, so I've loved her stuff because I'm like, she's just so funny. And then I found out she's
rich. Yeah, she does like full... Okay.
She does fucking everything. And now she's dating Young Gravy.
Oh my God. I just followed him this week.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. He kept popping up for me and I was like, who is this? And then I was like, oh, I knew who he was. I knew like who he was as an artist, but I didn't like know him like just in an Instagram photo. And then I was like, he's hot. I'm going to follow him.
Wait, or I'll send you a picture of her and you'll be like, oh, I know exactly who that is. I texted it to you.
I have seen her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know her.
Yeah.
Okay. So she started dating Young Gravy, and she's been doing spicy content for years. He just gave her her first orgasm. This isn't a joke. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So I was wondering if you could resurrect Joan Rivers.
Oh.
Joan Rivers telling E that a porn star has just received her first orgasm from Young Gravy.
Breaking news. I gotta tell you, we have just learned that a woman of the night actually never had an orgasm before until she started dating this hot young musician named Young Gravy. And let me tell you something. I never knew you could get an orgasm from any kind of gravy. I was mostly a ketchup kind of girl. But if this guy is giving this hot young thing her first orgasm, then we should really reevaluate what Thanksgiving means to us. Because I think that if gravy can give any girl an orgasm, especially one who pleasures herself for her career, then wow, we have really been underestimating that food in our life. God bless that woman, and I am so glad that she has found love in a condiment. I never knew that could happen before.
Is that okay?
I'm literally so happy.
Oh, good.
Like,
Oh, good. It's hard to do
so
Joan. There's certain characters I
funny.
do that I don't love to do without my wigs. Do you know what I mean? I'm like such a safer. It's such a safer
Totally.
thing for me. But she's a voice I
Totally.
like to do.
Yeah. How did you discover that you could do voices like this?
I don't know. You remember Lockdown?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I always did impressions. Here's what's really funny, and I talk about it in my solo show. Like, literally 10, 15 years ago, I pitched a solo show around or to UCB when I was going to classes there, and it was all impressions I was doing at the time, and it was like Sarah Silverman,
yeah.
Kourtney Kardashian I was doing. I did some other original characters, and I did this character that was like kind of loosely based on Joan Rivers. She was her name was Scarlet Violet, and she was the late wife of TJ Maxx. You know, because he's obviously a person.
Of course. He's a skateboarder, but he's like really
But he had an
old.
accident, so you know,
Yeah.
she was given the TJ Maxx empire, and I don't know. And she was just always someone I loved, obviously. I mean, as
Yeah.
a female comedian, she was like it, you know, and
Totally.
And she was involved in fashion, and I love fashion. I was just like, she was one of my idols. And so I was like, I wonder if I could do her voice. I don't know. I just would like do it out loud, like during COVID. And then I was like, I'm going to post this. And it's funny because she did very well for me. She did very well on Instagram, but like TikTok was probably like, what's Fashion Police? Like, who's Joan Rivers? I was like, oh my God, I can't. That, you know, it's
Yeah.
before their time, the TikTok time. So
Totally.
yeah, so I feel like the pandemic really helped me find a lot of other voices that I do.
Oh, well, you mentioned the Kardashians, and there have been a lot of things on TikTok and Twitter where Gen Z specifically, but you know other generations too, are talking about the pitfalls of age gap relationships, and some of them are like 20 years, and some of them they'll be like, they're 5 years apart, and they're freaking out about it. So could you find Kris Jenner to tell us the benefits of dating a younger man?
Sure.
Okay.
Hi, doll. Thank you so much for having me on just a regular podcast. This is so fun. I love it. And I love getting asked questions about relationship advice. And I really want to say that I think age is just a number. I really don't think there's anything wrong with dating someone 5 years younger, 20 years younger. You know, the most I think I've gone is 18. Really, I had a night with a guy who's 18 years younger than me. And let me tell you, the way they can flip you in ways you didn't even know your body could go was really astonishing. And I think it's really beautiful to find love in other decades. You know, you learn about music and art and things you would never know if you dated someone your age or older. So I think it's really special as long as it's legal. I really do. If it's illegal, you know, maybe slow down on that. But, you know, I would pick, if there's a hot, young, eligible 23-year-old guy, I'd tell Chloe, absolutely. doll. Let your freak fly. I mean, have fun.
Chris, what are some things that you've learned from your younger boyfriend? You were saying like music.
Well, Corey's younger, but not that much younger. Corey's so strong. I really learned, the value of a hamstring. He can really push anything around. He's also so helpful. They're really good at technology. I would say if I didn't have a man who is younger than me, I wouldn't know how to turn on a television.
Oh, Chris, you got to give yourself more credit.
I mean, there's just so many gadgets now, and the speaker systems and the Bluetooth, and back in my day, we would just take a remote and turn it on, and now it's just like a system. I can't. And I take a lot of gummies. I'm never there.
Oh my God, I feel so bad for doing this on a sick day.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, it's interesting that Chris just brought up technology because I've been seeing that sex robots can now be programmed with AI. So the way that AI chatbots are like getting to know people, sex robots can do that too. And I was just wondering what Lea Michele thinks about that.
It's amazing because I grew up in the theater with real people and real humans, and I just don't know that I would get along with a robot, but a robot who can pleasure you sounds like something I would probably write a song about. I really think there's something there for someone. Not me. I have real life human connections, I don't care if you're gay or straight or bi or pan or, everybody is okay by me, except for my coworkers in Glee. But aside from them, if we replaced some of them with robots, I think that would be so much fun to have a scene where I could make out with a robot, or they could touch me in ways that humans can't. And I don't know, I feel like there's something really special there. You have to roll with technology, so I'm just going to do that.
Do you think, Lea, I know that you used to have a crush on your old co-star / best friend, Jonathan Groff. Would you ever want an AI sex robot that would look like him, but you could program straight?
Wow, what an insane question. Here's the thing. It wasn't really a crush. It was actually a mutual soulmate affection. So we were really in love with each other. We would touch each other all the time because we were doing that on stage. So we wanted to rehearse. They called it rehearsal. I called it a date. And we were just, I don't know that I'd need to make an AI version of it because Jonathan Groff actually does live in my basement. So I don't need one. I have the real deal. We could make one to send him out to work so he never has to leave me.
Oh, that's such a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. And I know you showed him your vagina at one point. Did he ever return the favor?
Oh, yeah. I've seen it lots of times.
Okay, great.
Sometimes I use it as a microphone when I'm rehearsing for a scene.
I hope the microphone never malfunctions in your face.
Me too. That would be disgusting. Gross.
It's a different kind of throat coat than a singer is accustomed to.
Comes how I got through Funny Girl.
Okay, so speaking of robots and stuff, I think a lot of people aren't like comfortable using like a fully animatronic human looking thing. But I saw recently Bethany Frankel has been doing a lot of like reviews.
Can I pass on Bethany?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
My brain, it's not even the voice. I'm like, I mentally don't have the capacity to do her right now.
Yeah.
This is sick.
Okay.
This is insane.
Would Hilaria Baldwin want to tell us about her positions?
No.
Because you're friends with her now?
No, I'm not friends with her, but I can't right now.
Are you friends with her, Ron? Are you friends with her? So I've actually been talking to one of the writers of And Just Like That. and they said Steve has a new girlfriend, and we all should be really excited for Steve. However, what Steve doesn't know is that his new girlfriend is also a lesbian. And we have.
I don't know if this is real or not. I'm nervous.
No, it's not real. It's not real.
I was like, who does she? She knows too much tea.
No, I know nothing. But put me in the writer's room. I'll really do some great stuff.
I bet you would.
I've actually watched the source material, and it seems like you guys haven't. But this is the scene of Steve finding out that yet another woman he's in love with prefers women.
Miranda? Oh, I'm sorry. That's my ex. I always confuse my new girlfriend with my ex-wife. It's crazy. Oh my God. Amanda? I can't believe I did that. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you're leaving me? What do you mean you gotta go? Is there someone else? Is there another guy you met? Or, no?
No, it's a woman.
No! Oh no! Are you kidding me? Not again! Oh my God! I tell you
Again?
Yeah, my ex-wife. She left me for Che Diaz, this bad comedian who couldn't do a comedy concert if they tried. Oh my God! I can't believe it. You're leaving me for a woman. What is it about me? I'm turning all the women, and this is crazy.
I mean, Steve, we're all attracted to you, but you're the only guy we're attracted to.
Well, that makes me feel good, actually. I don't know. It's kind of nice, but I can't believe it. At least there's not another guy out there with better basketball skills than me that you're leaving me for. But this is
Nobody's got better balls than you, Steve. Actually, you've got the preferred number for me, which is less than 2.
yeah, I didn't know that would be such a thing, but I'm a catch. It's crazy. Oh man, well, this is really hot. I'm gonna have to go eat a couple dessert bowls tonight because I'm really sad about it. So.
And wait, you said that you've been married before?
Oh yeah, I got a wife and a kid. Yeah, had a whole life.
What's her name?
Amanda. You never met her? No. She's a pretty famous lawyer.
Okay. All right. We're done. Thank you, Steve, for coming. Welcome back, Anna. Okay. So we started talking about camp. I don't know if you had the same experience, but when I was at that camp, there was like a lot of lesbian energy going on, and it wasn't people who were necessarily gay. It was like a lot of practicing. So like making out through saran wrap. Does that happen when you were there?
No, but we were all like, we would like beg to have sleepovers, like in like when we were like 8 or 9 years old. We'd be like, can we have a sleepover like in each other's beds? And like we slept on bunk beds like 2 feet away from each other. Like, why did we all want to have sleepovers like where we could sleep in the same bed? Which is always kind of like, you look back and you're like, that was weird, right? But
what was that? Yeah,
but we didn't like make out or anything. Like, I imagine a counselor was like, okay, these girls are all into each other. Why do they want to sleep in a bed together?
Yeah. And you're like, no, it's just like the feng shui feels like a little better.
Yeah, right. I've always wanted a top bunk.
Yeah. You're like, we're not tops and bottoms. We're just sleeping in tops and bottoms.
Yeah, exactly.
We also, I remember one girl specifically like would announce that she was masturbating at night, and this was like
what?
one of my first like realizations that girls could do that. Did that not happen in your bunk?
No one ever.
Okay.
I was in the bunk where we were like really bad. Like I was like, we had like a scream mask, and we would like cut the screen of our bunk at night and like sneak out through the screen window and like run around to bunks and pretend we were the killer from Scream with the Scream
Amazing.
mask. That was sort of my vibe at camp.
Okay. It's a different kind of bad.
A different kind of bad.
I guess, yeah, I just had like the freak here.
guess
like,
so.
Cause like I only went there for 2 summers,
Oh my
and the
God.
one summer that I slept in your bed was the saran wrap summer, and then the summer after was girls announcing that they were masturbating all around me.
That's so wild. It's also wild,
Yeah.
I think, to go when you're a little older. Like, because I bet some of those girls, like, it was probably tension was building up over the years. If they started when they were like 7 or something, it was like,
they're like, oh, I've always like really admired your water ski skills. You're so good at archery.
I got in trouble at archery. I took it one summer and I was like, wouldn't it be so funny if I just would like try and get the arrows in the trees? And like that was like my idea. And my friend and I went and we were like, this is so funny. Like, let's just like,
that's a good bit.
Let's like not hit the target ever. And like the counselor was like, what the fuck? Like, cause it's their responsibility to have to get like a rope or a ladder or something. Cause they were tall trees in Maine.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh my God, right? Like, what if I missed and like hit a car? You know, I was like, wait.
Or just like you got rid of like a lot of equipment. And they're like, not that many people like sign up for this activity.
No.
So like
I signed up for activities based on like how it would serve me, you know? Like I did certain dance classes because I liked the outfits or the shoes, or, you know, I was like, I'm going to be on the gym team because like I could rock that leotard. It's a cool leotard. Like
do you know what I loved so much was airband?
Oh yeah, airband's great.
Which is, if you guys don't know what airband is, it's like you basically record a show in an audio way. So it's all the dialogue, all the songs or whatever, and then you lip sync that show. 10-minute show probably. Maybe 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's when I became like the Scott Rudin of
of camp.
of camp, because I was like, everybody needs to be here, and I was directing and I was producing and I whatever, and oh my God, we won airband my first year, and I was like the 3rd to oldest age group, and that was
my favorite
awesome.
too. I think for a performer and a comedian, it was like such a sweet spot for us, and it was like pre like lip syncs on TikTok and any of that stuff. Like, but it was that like we were good at that, and it was
exactly that.
You were like, and it was competitive, so you were like, this has to be good. So fun.
But you also had to show heart in it. Like ours was like, I think it was like the power of friendship at the end.
So camp.
It was so camp. But so you guys you weren't like a sexual group. Were you as Anna like a sexual kid, or did it take like past camp age to like start that kind of exploration?
I talk about this a lot in my show, but when I was 8 years old, I started camp. And I came from a house that my parents didn't give a shit what we watched on TV. Like, they didn't have any rules. As long as I was quiet and not bothering them. I have 2 other siblings. If the 3 of us were, you know, entertained by anything and not talking to them, they were like, great, they're good kids. And so we'd watch a lot of like rated R like stuff and like porn, like Cinemax and like HBO After Dark. Like I would watch like what was that?
HBO
HBO After Dark. What was the show? Real Sex on HBO.
Yeah.
You'd see a lot of dicks, a lot of sex, a lot of naked bodies, and
women taking their teeth out to give the best blowjob ever.
Oh my God.
I remember that sex worker.
There was also like a group of men that they were older men, and they would ski naked, and they would have a competition or something where they would like tie things to their dick to see how much weight they could hold on their dick to like ski down. And I was like, I didn't know gravity could handle this. Like, you know, wow.
Yeah.
But it's funny you brought up camp before, because the first night of camp, I met my best friend, who's still one of my best friends to this day. And she also came from a house where her parents didn't give a shit what she watched. And we realized quickly, we were coloring, and we showed each other that we knew how to draw dicks. And because we knew what it looked like. We knew there were 2 balls.
Yeah.
We knew there was a shaft. We knew, you know, older men had the hair. Like we like knew this stuff.
You were like 2 Jonah Hills and Superbad
literally
together.
And so here's the thing. So we decided we were going to write an erotic novel when we were 8 years old at camp. And
I'm dead.
We wrote in it every summer until we ended camp. So I went to camp for 10 years, 8 as a camper, 2 as a counselor. And I have this book. I've shared it a lot. I do it in my one-woman show. And it's probably its own show, to be honest. It's so good. And people love the book because I only do a couple chapters. And they're always, after my show, I do all these impressions, all this stand-up, and they're always like, the book. Oh my God. And it's got a great title too. It's called The Funky Dick Baby and Life. And it's
Okay,
about
great.
a woman who gives birth through her giant penis to a kid with a boob on his head, and it's all just like lots of naked body parts, and it's a lot of it doesn't make sense. But then you're like, wow, an 8-year-old knew how to draw like a full-on pregnancy test. Like I was educated. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
There were real parts to it, and the book is really funny because it started when we had just turned 8. Like camp starts in June, and my birthday's in June, so I was like 7, who just turned 8.
Yeah.
And we wrote in it by age 15, we knew a lot more, about sex.
Mm-hmm.
So by age 15, oh my God, the chapters
Were there edits, or like you can just watch the growth of knowledge through the chapters?
you can watch the growth of knowledge. It's just so we would only write a chapter or two a summer because we were like, the book will take time. This was like before Boyhood. Richard Linklater.
Yeah.
This was like my
Yeah.
Richard Linklater project, and by 15, we're on black paper with like milky gels, and we discuss foreplay and anal.
And you're drawing cum with milky gels.
Yeah, we were like, and then we did it in the behind. And for those of you who aren't educated, that's called anal. Like we're like teaching, we're teaching people about it. And so the book is pretty iconic, and it's funny because it's like that was my like not like we were like bad kids, but like. Good girl. I was like a good girl though. Like I was like a full on prude. Like until college, and I was just like, but I knew about sex, and I watched a lot of sex, and I was like, yeah.
Wait, this is fascinating. I also was a prude, but drew a naked book with my best friend Alexandra Kaplan in kindergarten, and it was me and her. And my crush Harry and her crush Jim, and we drew us all naked and like just like hanging out, and like it was basically like a swingers book, but like
you were really manifesting that.
Kindergartners.
So funny.
And then I also in 4th grade wrote a book with my friend Stefan called The Dictionary, spelled D-I-C-K, and we just defined all of the bad words that we knew in our dictionary. But we were always very afraid of, I don't know whatever happened to the naked book. I think I probably like threw it out because I was always like, oh, someone's going to find this and know that I'm like a secret freak.
Yeah.
And so Stefan and I ended up burying the dictionary in the playground at school.
Oh my God, could you go find it?
I don't know, because that playground's been redone.
Damn.
So I think at some point somebody excavated it and was like, there's a lot of knowledge here. Like they were like very impressed by us.
Or they're like, what are they teaching this school?
Yeah. So like who was the keeper of the book, and were you guys like nervous that somebody would find it either during the summer or like during the school year before you inevitably brought it back?
We would write on it during rest periods. So when we were like kind of asked to write like a letter to our parents or whatever, so we were doing, we were told,
like, fuck them.
but we didn't, we got in trouble, and you'll love this, not for the material we were writing, but we didn't include any of the other girls in the bunk. And so they complained that we were cliquey, and we got in trouble for being exclusive.
Excluding people.
And
from the sex
so then
book.
I remember the other girls in the bunk said, well, we were like, I'm sorry guys, we just can't bring everyone in. We're writing a novel. It's a novel for adults, and it's going to be published one day, and we can't just like have like 40 authors on it, 2 is what we want. And they wrote a book.
There's a whole thing with IP, like it's a thing.
Yeah, and they wrote their own book about a squirrel, and we were like, okay, cool. Yeah, write your squirrel book. Have fun. And I kept it during the school year. And I know this because I kept it after camp, and my mom saved the book. I have the book, and I share it on stage, and I have all of the illustrations, and I kept the book, and Allie knows I have the book, and she's all for when we sell it as a TV show. Like, I'll give her credit and everything. But
yeah, of course.
It's so funny. And you'll love this. I was sharing it chapter by chapter when TikTok first came out. I was like, this will be so funny to read on TikTok. And
okay, I'm going to go find those videos because
there's like 1 or 2, and then I got banned because it shows,
because it was too dirty.
Yeah, but it was like, because I was showing the illustrations, but it's literally an 8-year-old drawing of a dick. It's the most like innocent cartoon version, but I got banned for adult content and explicit like nudity or whatever.
is
And I was like,
so
wait, what?
funny.
There are people butt naked.
they're like, we don't want kids to see this content. And you're like, kids made this content.
So
That being
that
said-
was really hard for me, like 2021 or whatever, whenever I was like
Yeah.
really starting on TikTok, and I was like, wait, I can't go on this app for 2 whole weeks. I made 4 other accounts because I was like losing my mind, and I kind of like didn't post it again there. But it's so fun. I always am like, should I test the waters and like try it again, like, or at least on Instagram. Instagram, I've posted like the first chapter because I had it animated by a friend, so it's really funny.
Or just blur and bleep.
Oh, I tried. It didn't matter. It was like I battled with this, and I went super viral too, like the first few, and all these people were like, I have to know how Weenie's story. Weenie is the name of the lead, and they were like, how Weenie's story ends.
The woman with the penis?
No,
Or the baby with the boob on its head? Okay.
And then it goes into like different generations.
I'm invested.
Yeah, there's a whole family, line of people, and people were like, I need to know how the story ends, and I was like, well, I don't know where to put it. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll put the whole series on YouTube because the videos were fun. It's fun for me to read because like I know how to draw certain things, but I don't know how to like spell like a word. You know what I mean? Which is iconic because I'm like,
Yes.
you see where my brain was.
Yeah. Penis. PENNS.
Yeah.
With a perfect vein drawn.
There is a part in the chapter where I wrote penis, or I wrote wrote because he had a big one, and then in parentheses we write weenie, and then in double parentheses we're like, that's a penis. Like we thought people didn't know there were multiple terms for
sure.
These,
You guys were
things.
just being educational.
Absolutely.
So it's got like a narrator, or it's
No, it's just a story.
like a third person narrator or whatever?
There are quotations. As by chapter 3, we learned like, books have people talking, and you could have quotation marks. So there are some, the grammar gets advanced.
Yeah. Is the story itself done? Like, did you guys
The story, no,
wrap
it
it
always
all
says
up
to be
by
continued.
Tamry Summer?
No, it says to be
It
continued.
always says to be continued.
Like the chapters end, but the ending one is to be continued, and we never wrote it after camp. But it'd be funny to maybe give it an ending at some point if we decide to pursue it. I do think it would be funny to publish it one day. I've always said that. That's why I do it on my show. You never know if like some real investor's gonna show up. So
Or if you do the YouTube thing, like there's a lot of power in the fandom that they might make an animated. Like
yeah, it's
short
been
of-
animated. We have a couple chapters animated. So
Okay, nice.
it has been worked on in other various projects that I've pitched, but not as its own thing, just as a part of something bigger. So
Okay, so what's the most realistic sex that happens in Weenie's book?
probably the parents in the first chapter. They do it in a bed.
They do it.
Yeah, it's illustrated too.
And what's the least realistic? Like, how creative?
Well,
I mean, I guess the baby coming out of a penis,
yeah, a woman
highly implausible.
with a woman with a penis, which I guess could be true, but we didn't know that back in the day. We were before our time. It was very progressive. Gender wasn't really a thing for us. We were like, whatever.
No, it would be pretty tough to have somebody be pregnant with a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's creative.
But so was it like sex adventures, or it's like
No, every chapter is really, a new generation, like a new decade, I guess you could say.
it's Degrassi?
Kind of, and write what some chapters are about a tennis tournament, and some are about going on an ice cream trip, and so we were at camp, so it was kind of loosely related to activities you might find at a
Write
camp.
what you know.
And I knew tennis, so
And also babies coming out of dicks.
yep.
But I do always say, before you come out of a vagina, you come out of a dick.
Exactly. Wow.
Like, it does happen.
Never thought of it that way.
You get birthed twice. Okay, so you knew a lot, but you weren't acting on a lot, which is very similar to me. Like, I think we were like intellectualizing what we knew about sex instead of being like putting it into practice. Okay.
Absolutely.
So when about did you start putting it into practice that you were like, this isn't just like fodder for an upcoming Pulitzer?
Well, I knew I didn't want to go to college a virgin. I was like, there's no way I'm going to college a virgin, just because I used to watch a lot of like Lifetime movies and stuff, like Mother May I Sleep with Danger, like shit like that. And I was like, if I go to college and I don't know what sex is like for me, like I'm gonna be that girl who like goes to a party and like drinks something and then like ends up, you know, in a bodega and a man sweeps her off her feet and she goes somewhere else and you never see her again. Like I get like raped and murdered. Like I was like,
sweeps her off her feet is a really funny phrase for what is about to happen, but sure, yeah.
So I was like, if I have sex before college, obviously I will be like, I'll be mature. Like I'll know what it is, what it's like, who I want to do it with, you know. So I made sure I lost my virginity. I guess it was like senior year of high school.
Okay.
And that was when I guess I put it into practice. But here's the thing, like, you know, I only knew it from movies and TV. Like I hadn't.
Totally.
So I was like, and then when you do it for the first time, it's so awkward and it's so short. It's so, and you're like, wait, this, like, I only knew like Samantha from Sex and the City. So I'm always like, wait, it was not a Samantha scene. You know what I mean?
No, I always thought it was based off of her, 2 pumps screaming.
Yeah, right.
And then when it didn't happen, I go, okay, I guess this isn't for me.
Right, or how important foreplay is. You're like, they don't really show that part in movies.
No.
It's just like immediate, like, throw them up against a wall, and then they're in a bed, and then they're on the floor, and the sheets are around them, and what a wild time that was.
And it's like, I want to be with you.
Yeah.
Like, there's no music when you're actually doing it.
No.
Sometimes it's like so quiet you can hear the street.
I was in a hotel room and I remember being like, I have to turn the lights on because I just want to make sure like everything goes in the right places, you know. And there's a lot of lights in a hotel room, like absurd amount of light, you know, the lamps and the other lamps and the reading lamps. And I remember being like, we've got to turn the lights on. Like, how unromantic could I make it?
Also, how difficult, because hotel lights, I never know like which one corresponds to what.
Yeah, right.
Or not outlet. What's that called?
The switch. You have to play around for a while before you're like, okay,
Yeah.
that's that one. Yeah.
So wait, did you get a hotel room?
I was a full prostitute for the first time I had sex,
Okay.
which is iconic.
But did he get the hotel
Yeah.
room? Like, what was the situation?
Yeah, it was really,
like you were like,
it's a great story. I was at an acting program in London after like that summer before. Everyone meets their first love in an acting program, and
in London specifically.
I met this guy, and we didn't have sex in London. Like we didn't we would like make out. He was like my summer boyfriend, but we'd like French kiss, and he'd like maybe feel my boobs. Like that was like it, and
Cool.
And then we like coordinated. He lived in New York and I'm from Philadelphia. I was going to visit my camp friend who I was in London with, and we like coordinated this whole like weekend of like, we'll meet up with the guys. You know, it was all choreographed on AIM, where the magic happened. And
Truly.
And I remember we went to some like restaurant in the East Village where we were like able to show fake IDs and like sake bomb, you know? And I don't drink or smoke. I don't drink or do that much stuff, but I was like so nervous. I was like, I should probably have some sake, like, because we had talked about like, we'll do like a sleepover after, you know? And then at dinner, he was like, I got us a hotel room on my dad's credit card. And I panicked because I said to my friend, I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I'm ready. Like, if I don't go though, like, what did he tell his dad? Was he like, hey, I need to bring a girl back to a hotel room to fuck? We're 17.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like so nervous, and I was like, maybe what if his dad doesn't get a refund if I bail? Like I don't know how this works. And I was so whatever. And so we end up going to the Hilton Hotel in Midtown. And and that's where we had the sex, which was, I don't know, 10 minutes of, I was like, what? Like, we're like making out, and he's like, I'm like, wait, this hurts.
Yeah.
And And I remember checking into being like, oh my God, I'm like a full on prostitute right now. Like they know why we're here. They know why we're here. Like this man checking us in. He's like, it's under my dad's name. And I'm like, is his dad like supportive of this? What did he tell his dad?
Probably yes.
Probably. And then here's the thing. Like, so it was at the Hilton Hotel in Midtown. And then, cut to this year. That's where the CEO of United Healthcare was shot.
Yes.
And I've told this virginity story so many times, like on shows and on podcasts. And I'm like, now my thunder is gone. now that is not my hotel anymore. Like when you say the Hilton Hotel in Midtown, like people's brains immediately go
somewhere
there.
else.
And I was like, oh no, that's my place. That's where all the magic started.
Yeah. Whether it's a bullet being released from a gun or some semen being released from a peen, it all goes down.
What's his name? Mangione. He now he's the hottest one who ever graced the Hilton Hotel. Okay, it used to be Anna Roisman.
Luigi Mangione calls you one day and he's like, Anna, did you ever stay in this room at the Hilton? Because I was sleeping next to a heart that said Anna Roisman.
Yep. I signed it with the date of when I first had sex.
Oh my God.
So funny.
So when you were like, I wonder if his dad is supportive of this, I think he probably was, because I know a kid who his dad actually got him a sex worker for his
what?
I wish it was 18th birthday. I think it was 16th.
Oh my God.
And it was like in Canada, and this was a guy I went to school with who he wasn't great with the ladies. So he wasn't having the same experiences, I guess, that all of his other friends were, which neither was I. Like I was like the last virgin standing at our school, but like my mom was never like, let's hire fucking Bolo, but his dad was like, it's like, it's time and you should. And so I always thought that was
that's crazy,
bizarre, to say the least.
I mean, I shouldn't judge. My dad made me smoke weed with him for the first time, but he didn't hire anyone to have sex with me. That's another level.
Yeah, I feel like smoking weed with you is being like, I'd rather you do it inside the house, and I'd rather you know how this is going to be with me for the first time, instead of if you're going to be having sex, right. I'd rather it be with someone I hired in Canada. That's
so wild.
It's not like a great foundation for this is consent, because that's what I think it was. It was like, well, if none of those other girls will fuck you, we have to get someone else to do it. It's like, take your time, be patient. And I have more to tell you about who this father was. He's in the Trump
oh my God,
administration.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually a really crazy story. I'm surprised. I mean, whatever, I don't want to get sued, but so yeah. Okay. So, and did you guys keep dating, or was this we accomplished?
Yeah, it was
we're
a
done?
transactional thing. It was we had a fun summer, and then this was in the fall, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm a senior now, so I'm gonna go back to school and be a cool girl. And I was not a cool girl, but I thought I was, because I was like, well, I'm not a virgin anymore. Yeah. And we talked, but we never dated. He lived in New York, I lived in Philly. I ran into him in New York years later, which was so funny. And I was I literally saw him carrying laundry down 3rd Avenue. Of course he was a Murray Hill guy, and I was going to visit a friend. I just want to say I did not live in Murray Hill, but I was visiting a friend in Murray Hill, and I remember passing him on the street and I got to my friends, and it was hours later, and I'm on her couch, and I was like, oh my God. Because I thought I was I knew this guy. I thought I went to college with him. Maybe I had class with this guy. I couldn't remember.
That's so
and then I was
funny.
oh my God, he was my summer
God, you
boyfriend.
took my virginity.
Yeah.
Wait, I love that, because I feel like so many people, especially some people who listen to this podcast, will always get the question of how do you know who to do it with? And like, should the person be special or whatever? And it's like, it literally doesn't matter. Like the fact that you could forget the man is
great.
so funny. Yeah.
Because it's going to be awkward. I think if you're with someone and it's special, that's beautiful. If
That's
you're
great.
not, that's okay too, because it's not going to be
cares?
good. It's not going to be like mind-blowing sex.
Yeah. It might be a romantic makeout leading up. That's what you can hope for, potentially. But yeah, if it's not and you don't remember the person,
That's okay.
great. That's it's even optimal.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. So when you were like, I want to do this before college, was that kind of going through your head like you were doing it to like just like get it done, or like it more was like,
Yeah, I kind of felt like I'm going to probably like date people and go out more. And I'm, I wasn't like a partier in high school. I wasn't, a lot of my friends from middle school, like when we got to high school, they would like go into the city and like hook up with like guys who were going to Penn and like in college.
Yeah.
And I was like fucking like auditioning for Guys and Dolls. Like I was like, I have a career. Like I'm not doing drugs and like hooking up with guys. Like I have a singing voice to preserve,
Yeah.
And so I sort of felt like for me, it was like on my terms, it was like my, I liked this guy. We had fun. I was like, he'd be a great person to like do that with. So it's not just a rando I meet in college at a party or something. So I don't know. I think it was sort of like my version of like, I'm going to mature myself now, Like I was like, I just want to know what it feels like, what it is. I didn't want to like, I didn't want it to be a surprise. I think I like when I can control a situation, and I felt like I could in that sense. And I was like, so why wouldn't I?
yeah. I also love the idea of sex making you mature, like giving you maturity, because like all sex does is like give you HPV,
Right.
honestly. Like,
And I'm like, well, now I'm an adult, Like,
yeah.
sorry.
My first time was kind of similar in that it was with a guy I'd been hooking up with for a while.
At the
but
Hilton Hotel in Midtown.
At the Hilton Hotel, specifically in Midtown. But it was about to be spring break. And I was like, what if I want to explore on spring break? Like, I want to have some experience under my belt. And so, like, the day that we got out from school, I just, like, went over to his house and we watched the OC and we had a little... And it sucked. We laughed a lot.
Right.
It hurt. But then I was like, okay, now I'm ready for, like, real, if it's to happen organically, sex. Like, I don't know why, for some reason, I think we both like had to like intellectualize it and be like in charge of it. Like, just get it out of the way, which I don't know if I would recommend that to me now.
It kind of gave, I think for me then, though, it gave me confidence. And it sounds like it did for you, where you were like, okay, now I know what this is. So it can happen organically now. Like, it's not going to be a total surprise.
It didn't, because it didn't work for me. Because he was a little too big for me. And we didn't try again until August. So I didn't hook up with anybody on spring break. I was fucking terrified.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. But whatever. Have had lovely sex since. Do you remember your first orgasm?
I don't.
No?
No.
That's fine.
It's not something I like remember being like, no, is it? It was probably when I was 6, like at a playground, but I really don't remember.
No, that Kris Jenner's back.
I don't know how to laugh as me anymore, and everyone tells me that. I'm like, they're like, oh, you're Kris laugh. And I was like, is it? I've done her too much. I don't laugh. I don't have a laugh anymore.
Yeah. Wait, so this actually leads me to, have you ever had a character in bed? Or is that strictly something that you do professionally?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like role play.
Oh, like in my life, have I ever done
in
role
your
play?
life?
No,
yeah.
I never have.
No,
probably because I do it every day. That it's
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's so funny. Like, same with like theme parties or karaoke. I find that it's like, it feels like work. Like that's what I do for like a living. So I'm always like, I don't want to put on a wig or like dress up for this party. Like, can't I just look cute? Like,
Totally.
and that's changed over time, I think, because I do it for work, which is so funny.
Did you used to see theme parties as in like Halloween as like an outlet for creativity before?
I used to love Halloween. Now I could give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't even like.
Yeah.
I'm like, ew, it's crowded outside. Like like places are busy. I don't want to dress up. And it's funny because in my relationship, Jared loves Halloween, and he always did. But over the last like, I don't know, however many years, like 6 or 7 years, I'm always like, I don't care anymore. I don't like it anymore.
I know.
Which is so funny.
We don't know how long we've been with our people.
But Steve became a thing in the pandemic. It wasn't role play, but I joke on stage that was role playing, like with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But he really laughed at it. And so I was like, it was almost like, it's not like flirting, but I would like do Steve voices and I'd hold a basketball and I'd play really poorly around our apartment because we were losing our minds in a pandemic. And he would laugh. And I was like, I'm going to put this on TikTok. If Jared thinks it's funny, he's seen me do all my tricks. Like, if he thinks it's funny, maybe someone else will. And, you know, so I always.
He's so supportive and like just so silly. I like that Notebook video that you guys did early in the pandemic, and it's like raining and doing like the Notebook, like I wrote you every day for a year or whatever.
That was our iconic video. It went really viral, and
that was, I think, like your first one. And I remember
it was the second.
No,
we did Home Alone.
The second one.
Yeah, we did a bunch of shot for shot parodies. It was the second one, but it did very well.
That was the first one that came across my For You page. And I was like giggling so much. And then I saw somebody in the comments, I don't know if you remember this, was like, get a fucking job. Like, this is like what you're doing, spending your time with or whatever. And I like was in my keyboard warrior phase. And I was like, she's a fucking actress and a comedian. This is her job. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can you please clap back at all my haters? That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll try. I don't usually have something to say, but I was just like, how dare you, sir? Like, she is in the tub. She's so wet.
That's so funny.
She had to learn this whole monologue.
And I love, well, we made it up, but I love that I love that your memory of it is like, it was so, like, you guys are in the tub and you guys are so supportive of each other. It was a nightmare of a day, to be honest. It was like,
I'm sure.
It was like a 9-hour day, and we wanted to kill each other. We absolutely, like, you know, we're both creative. So we're like, he's like, it has to be this way. And I'm like, no. And we had 2 takes on the wet, because once you're wet, you can't really dry a dress like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was like.
Ben and I, he has a character and we do it together. Nobody knows. It's a secret because he does not look like himself as this character.
Like online?
This character is viral in their own right. Nobody knows it has anything to do with me or Ben, except for like very close friends and family.
Oh my God, I have to know.
I'll send them to you. But we do not fight a ton in our day-to-day life. But after every one of these shoots, I go, I'm breaking up with this man. I'm done with this man.
Always.
There was one time I accidentally like broke a mic pack. It was not my fault. He had like put it in a drawer or something, and I like walked a little too far from it. So like the cord fell on the whatever. And he was like, I'm going to Best Buy, and like drives out into like the wilderness in Oregon, wherever the fuck we were at the time. And I go, I don't think I'm ever going to see him again. No. Like, it was like such a bad fight. So I completely understand that dynamic. Yeah. And then the editing is done and you both look at it and you go, oh, we're so good at this, aren't we? Look at us.
Yeah. We got so cocky because the Notebook did so well that we ended up renting a camera and like proper lighting and equipment to do the Titanic. And then the Titanic didn't do as well. And we were like, no, this needs to do well. We spent money on this one. The Notebook was just fucking like, you know, whatever we had around.
This is just a warm up. You never know what's going to viral.
You don't.
Truly. It is a coin flip every time. And it's always like the shit that like, you're like, oh wait, I didn't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in a sense, like you always kind of want everything to do well. But there's like this one video of mine that like, it's so stupid. And it's about me like dying and talking to my sister for like the final time. And like, it's funny, but then I got a lot of comments being like, well, I had a sister and she died.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't even know what to say to that besides like, I'm so sorry. And like,
That's so funny. The first time I
not
ever did
dead.
Hilaria Baldwin, it went super viral, and it wasn't on purpose. I study
No.
my people, and I want to do them properly and wear the right outfit. And I was just sitting on my couch in my pajamas, and I like did an 11-second video of saying I went to Universidad de Boston, and I was like, so I get it, you know.
de Boston.
And she was like, and people thought I was her, I guess, like on TikTok. And like next thing I know, I was like written up as like TikToker Anna Roisman. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a TikToker. And then I got banned for the porno. But yeah, it was a journey in those early days.
Oh my God. And also I feel like at that point, being called a TikToker when you were like a verifiable stand-up was like, come on. But now it's like, no, that's like a
okay.
respectable thing. Yeah.
I
love
embraced
TikTokers.
it. Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys have been in a relationship for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything that like, and you don't have to answer this, but is there anything that you want to accomplish sexually as like a person in like the next few years of your life? Or like, are you like,
I think
I found my rhythm, I'm good?
I think it's always I think like finding a rhythm is always work. Like we've gone through so much, especially in the last few years when we moved to LA and then we were back in New York and then our dog died and then we got 2 puppies. Like we've had a lot of like I think when you go through a lot of life changes like that, your
Intimate
yeah,
life
your intimate life
changes too.
changes because you're like that. It's not really a priority at the end of the day. When you know, back when we didn't have anything to really like worry about or stress about,
Yeah.
and life was kind of like, okay, we go to work and we come back and I have a show, and you know, like, you know, we would. And then you sort of have to realize, like, oh wait, I have to prioritize sex in my life now. Like, it's like you don't want to schedule it, but you're also like. You kind of have to schedule sometimes. Like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well, we have this night, whatever. I don't mean scheduling, like I don't put it on my calendar or anything like that. Like I've never done that in my life. But
But you'll be like, we're both free Thursday. Let's like make
right,
that
or
a
like,
night
yeah,
for
let's
us.
like go to dinner and like just have it like
Yeah.
a date night or whatever. So I feel like, you know, the last few years have been really hard, and we do have 2 puppies who, you know, really don't understand the concept
Privacy.
of sex. Yeah. And also, if we are having sex and they're on the ground outside, I'm like, oh my God, are they eating through my packages? Because that's what they're into these days is boxes. So it's like stressful no matter what. So I would love for the next few years as my dogs mature and, you know, like we get into more of like our life again. I feel like, oh, maybe we won't have to feel like we have to schedule it. I like when we can
Totally.
just, you know, be in the mood and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about like, do we put them in the crates? Are they going to cry if they're in the crates? Like that's literally, and it's so silly because you have to stop and be like, oh my God, why are we like even thinking about these factors when we used to just like, okay, let's just have sex.
Yeah, I guess because if you think about them first and then put them in the crates, then your brain doesn't have to be focused on them for like
Yeah, but
the
then
time itself.
if it's like, you know, 1 a.m. and they're crying, you're like, my neighbors are going to kill me.
right.
And then what? I have to say, like, sorry, we wanted to have sex without our dogs eating through, you know, our furniture. So
Yeah.
we were just like, let's just deal with it and put some music on.
Totally. Yeah.
That sounds so
there's-
sad, but it's so true and real.
No, I think that's like life.
Yeah.
But when you were saying about scheduling, like, or like doing it like when you're not even necessarily like in the mood, like Ben has been in Portland for 2 weeks, and the day of his flight, he was like, oh, it turns out that like I don't have to leave for the airport for like another hour actually. Fast forward, this was wrong. He missed his flight. But anyway, he goes, I've got some more time. And I go, okay, cool. Should we have sex? Or actually I said, should we?
Hot.
'Cause I'm an
you're
adult.
hot. Yeah. That.
Yeah. And he goes, like, 'cause I'm leaving? And I was like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, 'cause you're leaving and like, I don't know, like I could. And he's like, okay, I could, like that's an interesting suggestion. And then like we did, and it was great.
That's a conversation
was-
of a couple who's been together for a while. Like that,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I could. He's like, I could. And then afterwards I go, aren't you happy I suggested that? He goes, I am. Like I can never just let him enjoy. I have to also be correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a time in my life that I would have been like, that's so unromantic. But it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, we still had fun.
I think that's what I'm trying to say. I miss those days where it was just romantic and there weren't any other like factors involved.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have like I don't know how people do it when they have like kids and like real, people around.
No, at all.
But
I have no idea, except for that
a lot of them say they don't.
they don't. And maybe you guys could invest in like a dog sitter for like one.
No, they're fine.
One night.
I'm joking. They're good now. They're 1.5. They're like,
Oh, okay.
they're not puppies anymore.
But like that's what I've heard. Like people like be like, take the kids for the weekend. Like we're gonna go on vacation so that like we literally don't have to think about it. And like,
so funny.
and then I'm sure there are those vacations where like you're there and you're not in the mood. You're like, but we spent all this money, so should we? I guess we should.
Sometimes it's like that. But, for every time it's like that, hopefully you're still able to find the times where it's more fun and less like, all right, I guess we should. But
So I think that's the goal going into the next few years.
Yeah?
Is more spontaneous
Yes.
romance and
I like spontaneity.
yeah. Well, I'm so happy we got to do this.
Me too.
You have mentioned your one woman show. What is it called? Can people still see it?
It's on a hiatus right now, so no.
It's on a hiatus right now. So
but we'll see.
Fuck you
I might have a
guys.
version of it in the fall. We'll see. But it was called Impressionista. I do a bunch of my impressions. It's fun. But yeah, I'm taking the summer to write a different project. So I'm trying to focus on that. Which
You're trying to finish the book?
I'm trying to finish my porno. Yeah, exactly. But it'll be back. I'll always be back. But in the meantime, I'll be doing stand-up shows and whatnot around town.
Great.
So yeah.
Oh, wait. I actually have a question. Read the book before we go. So you had already had an orgasm like pretty early in life. Are there any representations of orgasms in the book?
I don't think so. I don't think I really
And
knew
did-
orgasms then.
Even though they were happening, you didn't know like what was going on?
Yeah. I think it was like, for me, it was probably like the grand finale. Like, and then it gets really
like
good. Yeah. I don't know.
That fun thing I do. So you and your co-writer never discussed them.
I don't think so. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? All this just goes to show girls need to be talking about orgasms more.
Yeah. No.
Because
No education.
they can know exactly how to draw a dick, but not know what's going on with their own
so
bodies.
true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, this has been so much fun. Where can everybody find you online?
So fun. Anywhere. It's just Anna Roisman, just my name, ANNAROISMAN, all over. That's it.
Great.
You can also listen to my podcast, Bigwigs.
Yep. Lots of impressions there. And yeah, you guys are just so talented. It's unreal.
Thank you.
I have to ask you one more question, which I have to ask everybody after a sexual experience.
Great.
Anna Roisman, did you finish?
I finished. I did.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much
for coming.
Yeah. Wow. I need a cigarette. Thanks.
Yeah. Ugh, I would love. You guys can follow me at Remy Casimir. Follow the podcast at How Come Podcast. If you want to watch this on Patreon, half of it has video and half doesn't. So whatever. Patreon.com/howcome. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next time on How Come. Bye.
Bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help, 'cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz